Hello and welcome to Knife Delights. Folks, I'm inviting you on a journey here as I share my frustrations in trying to identify this knife. This knife came in that big basket of knives I got in the antique store, and I have been trying to identify it, and I have been frustrated at every turn. So, when we look at this knife, we can see what I thought when I first picked it up, a knife of crude construction. But that's probably the wrong term. Now that I've handled it, looked at it more, rather than saying crude, I should say basic construction, because there's nothing crude about this. This is actually a very well-built knife, and it's got this wonderful blade here, your cutting edge here, you've got a saw here, and looky down here. This is what this is what causes the frustration. Because I just don't know what kind of knife would have a small marlin spike on it. So what I did is, well, you know what? This knife needs cleaned up just a little bit. It's a little dirty. I'm just going to work on it here just a little bit as we talk. But when I say well construction, listen to that snap. Listen to the snap of this main blade. Very firm half stop. Listen to that. So, like I said, this is a well-built, sturdy, heavy-duty knife, but what kind of knife is it? Who was it made for? When was it made? Who made it? Because there is no tang stamp on this whatsoever. So as we talk here, I'm just going to do a little bit of cleaning. Take a pad out here. Got this bottle of knife lube, which is mineral oil. You can get this on Etsy from LCK Knives on Etsy. And Last Chance Knives puts out this product. So we can just put a couple drops on here, and let's just start cleaning up here and talk about it. So I started off my journey of trying to identify this by just taking a picture of it. And then I uploaded the picture and I did an image search. And when I got that back, I only had one result. That's right, one result. And this is the result that came up. It's from a website called Trench Rat Militaria. And as you can see, he's got the question there. World War II escape knife, RAF, SOE, German. So here we have someone that's used to dealing with military-style knives, and he can't identify it. And you'll see down there it says sold, but when I first pulled that up, I am almost positive that he had a price of $150 on this knife. So again, that was the only result I came from, that came back on this knife. Now, here's a European Army knife, and these are quite common. And I'm telling you, if I took a picture of this and did an image search, I would get all kinds of results on this. There's many different companies that made this for the European Army knife. Again, lots of results. Here's one of my old knives. This is one of my personal knives, a Camillus. We called it a bosun's knife in the Navy. But you see the big marlin spike and the big lamb's foot there for cutting rope. It's otherwise known as a sailor's knife, yachtsman's knife. It comes under lots of different names, but we called it a bosun's knife. So again, if I uploaded an image of this, I would get lots of results, thousands of results on it. Whoa, hold your horses. I ended the video and I realized I didn't even do any weight or length measurements here. So let me just do this quick. As we can see here, it's closed length of about 5¼ inches. And an open length of about 8¾ inches. One other thing that I forgot to mention was the United States Navy had a big jackknife, the Jumbo Jack or something that they called it. It was a double-ended jackknife. Looked like a big cattle knife pattern, and it was big and it was heavy, and you had one cutting blade fold out this way and a saw fold out that way, and it was part of a U.S. Navy pilot's escape or survival pack. It was actually one of the items inside of this vest that the pilot would have on when he bailed out, but this is not that knife. So yeah, once again, let me get this level here. Good and level. Now when I say it's stout, it is stout, but let's get a weight on it. We can see we got 165 grams and 5.8 ounces. So this is a heavy, heavy, stout knife. It's on it. So that website said that it looked like a RAF 1943 pattern flying boots escape knife. So I looked that up, and this is what came back on a website. And you can see it looks similar, but it doesn't have the marlin spike. It looks to be a smaller knife, but it's just got the basic metal construction like this one does. But the RAF knife doesn't have a maker's mark or tang stamp on it either, which I think was kind of common in World War II for some of these knives. They just didn't take the time to, you know, identify them, and they made them very basic. Didn't make them fancy, didn't use bone and stag handles or anything like that. They just stamped these out and put them together. But as you can clearly see, this is not an escape knife, although the construction is somewhat similar. So going through some of the image searches, I came across this knife. And this was a German knife here. It was called a paratrooper knife. Oh, I don't know if I can pronounce that right. Fallschirmjäger gravity knife. And you can see it has a marlin spike on it. But it is not this knife. And it was a gravity knife. But they put the little marlin spike on it, because if you're dealing with parachutes and getting hung up in your parachute, you needed a small marlin spike, you know, to undo some of the knots in the paracord and all this and that. So that's why it had a marlin spike. So then I started doing lots of searches on paratrooper knives. So I searched for, you know, British paratrooper, German paratrooper, Russian paratrooper. Oh, I did all kinds of searches. And folks, I could not get any kind of results for this knife. None whatsoever. So now you can see my frustrations, but it goes even deeper. Now after spending, I don't know, I probably spent 2 or 3 hours just searching images on the internet. I did run across this one that is very similar, and this is a veritable Dumas and Sai with horn handle, old pocket knife, folding knife with 3 working parts, French knife, 1940s. So this is kind of the same, you know, era, and it has the same 3 tools to it, the marlin spike, saw, and blade. But as you can see, it's not the same because of the construction of it. So I thought I was getting a little bit close, so I kind of went down that rabbit hole and tried searching down through, you know, Veritable to see if I could find anything there, and still can't come up with anything. Well, I was talking to RJ one day, and he suggested, well, you should contact Stuart Harvey, because, you know, Stuart's a pretty good authority on military knives. And so I sent him an email and a picture, and Stuart suggested that perhaps it might be a Soviet knife, something from the Soviet era, and since it didn't have tang stamp or markings on it, perhaps near the fall of the Soviet Union. So again, folks, I searched and searched under every name available, you know, Russian Army knife, Russian Army escape knife, Russian Army survival knife, Soviet survival knife. I mean, I just went over and over and over, and I still cannot find anything that even comes close to this. So I did that. Oh, goodness. So then I switched to China, you know, Chinese Army knife, Chinese escape knife, Chinese survival knife, Chinese paratrooper knife, Japanese paratrooper knife. I tried them all. And again, folks, I get no results. So as you can see, I am very frustrated. I cannot identify this knife. Now, like I said, the one I did find, looks like it sold. Well, it was listed for $150 and now shows that it is sold. So did he get $150 for it? I don't know. But what do I have here, folks? What do I have here? Do I have an extremely rare knife? It certainly isn't very common when I can't get any search results back on it. It's such an unusual pattern that it's not going to get confused with any other kind of knife in the image results. So, yeah, I don't know. If anyone out there knows what kind of knife this is or has a source that perhaps I can go down to continue to investigate, I would sure appreciate it if you'd leave me a comment. But to me, this has all the hallmarks of a military knife. I think, to me, World War II era, but I just don't know. Are you frustrated like I am? Well, it's been quite a journey here, hasn't it? Thanks for hanging out to the end of the video, and go out and have a very delightful day.